Okay, guys, so welcome back. And as always, I'm sorry for not being online as much. Life is quite busy out here. Of course, it's teaching time, and it's not quite the holidays yet. But it's getting a little bit cold in northern Vietnam. It's cold for Vietnam, and this is my third November here, so I just wanted to say hello to everyone. Some birthdays of my family, one of my brothers and my mom. Just wanted to say happy birthday to them. If they do watch the show, I'm not sure if they do, but whatever. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the midterms, which I believe are starting tomorrow, and just some of the hilarious, cringy stuff that's all been leading up to it. This has been quite a circus, and it's been reminiscent of 2016. I was hanging out with my Aussie Trump supporter friend, and we were just reminiscing about 2016 and missing that news cycle. But here it is, midterms coming up, and Milo Yiannopoulos appeared in that great Christina Blasio costume, and using the costume as a metaphor of the tricks used by the left. I thought it was very clever, and it was great to see him again. But at the same time, where has he been? He's releasing a new book. I'm not even sure if I'm going to read it, let alone review it. But I am behind on book reviews, and that's something I'd like to do once things slow down, and once the holidays start happening, and once I get on a sensible schedule. Anyway, as it turns out, I have to go back to Bangkok next week, so I'll talk a little bit about that in my next video, which I'll record right after this. For now, midterm predictions, I predict that the Republicans will keep everything, if not gain something. But I am extremely optimistic, and well, I don't know if that is an optimistic viewpoint. It's just seeing what's happened lately. The last month build-up, it's been more than a month build-up to all of this, with stuff that if I wanted to talk, I could have found a lot to talk about, but it was all controversial stuff happening. The absolutely senseless and devastating shooting in a synagogue, which was the whole news cycle. It started on such laughable terms. We look at Elizabeth Warren, the one topic I did manage to make a video about this last week. And then those fake bombs, come on, that was ridiculous. Anyone who knew anything about that sort of thing, and of course I don't know anything about weapons, but people who knew about that, who were talking about it, who were describing that sort of thing, and also the post office thing, and the timing, and the fresh Trump stickers on his van. But before that, it was just innocuous, silly stuff like the Elizabeth Warren DNA test, and Kanye West going to the White House, and Trump looking there, looking at him like, what universe are we in? What timeline is this? It hasn't ceased to be weird. I was looking up advertising for an IELTS class that I teach, and I pulled up an ad for Donald Trump's The Apprentice, and the original TV show. My roommate and I were hooked, and we'd watch it every week. We'd get home from class to watch that show. And Mark Burnett, Survivor, like the early days of reality TV shows, when that was back before there was streaming video, back before YouTube. And that's when people would just, we'd look forward to seeing shows on scheduled time, just like when we were kids. But all of this has been one big scheduled show, I hate to say, with some horrible outliers, I guess. Shootings have become so common. It's amazing how many have happened since I've been here. The year anniversary of the Vegas shooting passed, and nobody said anything about it. Everyone was absorbed in the Kavanaugh hearings. Kavanaugh. Anyway, I have mixed feelings about all of that, and I'm afraid to jump to any conclusions because I feel like I'm getting gaslighted by both sides. And even conservatives that I really respect say things that I find suspect sometimes, like certainly Sticks and Ben Shapiro and others. I have to fact check everything, even stuff that I, on the surface, agree with, and that's what makes it so overwhelming and difficult to get through everything. So anyway, the media roller coaster ride is a little much sometimes, but I can't help but rubberneck. I can't help but keep looking at it and to be amused by it, and to be grateful that I'm living in a time where I have access to so many different diverse voices and resources that I can really form educated opinions about these issues. And, I didn't even bring up the caravan. That's the huge thing. Like, this huge crisis, this sudden caravan that appears. Some woman was holding a sign that said, something's messed up if you think a fertilized egg is a human, but a refugee isn't. Which is like the biggest, weakest straw man. You say that you assume that we don't think of refugees as people simply for having a protocol and a balanced way of looking at how immigration occurs. And ask any immigrant, ask anyone who has migrated to another country. I mean, there are rules. There's stuff that happens. This whole refugee status, okay, well then, who gets to determine who is a refugee? What types of refugees are there? And does the supply of one nation necessarily burden it to invest in all the others? As it stands, the United States contributes more to the United Nations than any other country in the world. But I guess it's none of my business, just like Amy Parnes and Jonathan, I'm sorry, I'll think of his name later, who wrote Shattered. I'm apolitical in the sense that I don't vote, but I'm political in the sense that I do care and I do report on politics. And I do have an opinion. So that's, I don't vote. I'm just going to say it, not anymore. But if I were to move back, I would, certainly. But I'm not going to do absentee voting when I've been living on and off for 10 years overseas. Like, it doesn't make much sense. But like everyone else out here, I enjoy the show. So good luck to the Republicans during the midterms. And I'm sorry if, you can disagree with me all you want, and that's fine. I'm interested in hearing your side, but I hope that the Republicans win everything, including that smarmy Ted Cruz. I hope he beats Beto O'Rourke and his stupid YMCA commercial. Over and out.